happy Hispanic Heritage Month. We're so happy that you have joined us for the opening of Hispanic Heritage Month. And with that said, I think we're ready to get started. So Doctora Valerie Romero, our Vice Chancellor for the University of New Mexico Health Sciences Center, Office for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Doctora. I think she's here. Let me check. We'll give it a second. I could have sworn I saw her on here. So let me see. I don't think she's on yet. Oh, the backgrounds look fantastic. How awesome. Yes, it's great to see everyone. Thank you, Dr. Parada. We'll just get started in a couple of minutes. We're waiting for Dr. Romero Leggett, so give us a couple more minutes. All right, Doctora Valerie Romero Leggett, take it away. You're on mute, Doctora.
Oh my God, there goes the big, exciting bienvenidos to everyone. Well, bienvenidos. I just wanted to welcome all of you to this wonderful evening and to thank you for being a part of this special month. On behalf of the UNM Health Sciences Center Office for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, I just want to thank you all for, again, joining us for the Hispanic Heritage Month, a time when we're sharing the history and the heritage and the accomplishments of our Hispanic and Latino Americans, both in the past and the present, and really recognizing the many contributions of our Hispano, Hispana, Latino, Latinas, Mexicano, Mexicanas, Latinx, and Chicano and Chicanas. So just a wonderful time to celebrate this together. And these efforts and the amazing lineup for this month really come from the dedication and support of so many people. So I want to acknowledge most certainly our exceptional Heritage Month co-chairs, Dr. Jennifer Gomez Chavez and Dr. Jean Paul Sanchez. Mil gracias to you all. And of course, it takes a multitude of others, the Office for Diversity staff and Teresa and Jose, and the incredible efforts of the entire Health Sciences Center, the University of New Mexico, and the community. So it's so interesting. I don't know how many of you were able to join us last year as we were kind of kicking off for the first time our Heritage Months. And so it was, didn't have a lot of time and did a great job in that period, but this time, there are so many more people involved, like I said, across the entire state of New Mexico. So it's very exciting to see this again. There are so many people here that are on here with us tonight and that will be part of the entire month. But extreme gratitude to all of you for bringing this together and bringing this to not only the University of New Mexico and the Health Sciences Center, but to the entire state of New Mexico. Thank you very much for that. You know, I'm a proud Nuevo Mexicana, Hispana, first generation college students, and both of my parents who come from northern New Mexico, they're from Rancho San Cañon, worked really hard to make ends meet for all of us, and just instilled in me and my siblings, there are 5 of us, the values of hard work and education and being good to each other and others and just working really hard, but always, always, always remembering that we stand on the shoulders of people who come before us. And so many of those people never had the opportunities that we have today, right? People who opened doors for us and just made sure that they stayed open. So I know that each of you here today shares so many of those same core values, and you are the ones who keep the doors open and have opened those doors for others as well. And so I want to recognize that and thank you for that as also, because you really inspire others to achieve success, and you've been incredible role models and mentors. You know, my family and community and all of you helped me to succeed and be where I am today as well. And I just, you know, I'm so proud to live and practice here in New Mexico as a family practice doctor and to be able to give back to my community. I'm very proud of my culture and heritage, and I'm excited again for the amazing lineup of events that we have for this month. And as we celebrate and carry on this history for our future generations. So again, bienvenidos y mil gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Romero Leggett. And so as a co-chair along with Dr. JP Sanchez, we are so grateful for your commitment to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. This year's theme is Esperanza, a celebration of Hispanic heritage and hope. And you will see throughout the month, we have so many workshops that, you know, will continue to give us hope and inspire our community and future generations. So we want to thank all of the faculty, the students, the staff across HSC, the UNM Hospital, and UNM Main Campus, because we are one community and we are united as we continue to inspire others and to really, you know, be the light and the hope. So thank you so much. It was an honor to be one of the co-chairs, and I will turn it over now to Dr. Sanchez, and we will start the program where we have our different leaders who have joined us. I do want to give a special recognition. We have Senator Harold Pope, who has joined us. Senator, thank you so much for your commitment and your leadership to promote our culture, history, and heritage. I know that you are, I want to say Latino, Afro-Latino, correct? Yeah, do you want to say just a quick couple of words, Senator?
Sure, I'll be real quick. I'm usually the quiet person, but I just really want to support everyone. And I think you have it correct. I'm African-American, but I'm also mixed race. My grandmother was born and raised in northern New Mexico. Her maiden name is Maestas. So that's what I really love about being here in New Mexico and learning different parts of more of my culture and also family that I never got to meet growing up in Colorado. And I just think it's important that we have these events. We see what's going on in the country in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of what's going on is to stop what we are trying to do here and highlight the leadership the artistry, the entrepreneurship of the Hispanic people, not only here in our state, but around the country and around the world. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to continue supporting, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Senator. We're so grateful for your support throughout the years. So thank you. Dr. Sanchez.
I'm sorry, Dr. Sanchez, I'm interrupting you here a second. I also see our Representative Lujan here as well, and thank you for being with us. And if you would like to share just a few words as well, and we'll turn it over to Dr. Sanchez after that. Thank you for joining us as well as our Senator.
I didn't see you, Representative. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you all for everything that you're doing. And it's a wonderful time of the year when we get to celebrate our heritage and everything that it represents. And it's a culture that's rich and inclusive and loving. And I too am of a rich background, diverse cultural background, but this is a special time of year for us, and we get to celebrate each other. And I just want to thank you all for the work that you've done. Dr. Gomez Chavez, you're amazing. You walk the walk. You teach us all the time, in and out of our responsibility of just being responsible humans and being good and loving to each other. And that's really where we're at. And that's, our culture is about la familia, about the gente and our families and how we treat each other and we love each other and we make those commitments and we stand in pride with each other and hold each other close. And I just want to thank you. It's been a hard year, a couple or longer than a year under this pandemic, and you've taught us many lessons in those virtues. So thank you and continue the work. Gracias por todo.
Thank you so much, Representative. And I would say that my role models, my grandparents, my abuelita, who I lost last year, my father, who I lost to COVID, my mother, and Dr. Lawrence Roybal and Dr. Valerie Romero Leggett. Thank you all for being the role models of that compassion and to never forget our culture. So thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Sanchez, it's your turn.
Well, I just want to say buenos tardes. It's great seeing everyone. I want to thank everyone for welcoming me to the UNM HSC family over the past year and to the state of New Mexico. As many of you know, I've shared that both my parents are from Puerto Rico. And, it's always great walking across the state and meeting individuals and families from across the Latino, Latina, Latinx, Hispanic, Spanish origin diaspora. I want to give a special recognition to two individuals from our community in the School of Medicine that recently gained higher appointments. Dr. Felicia Rohan Minares, who is now our interim chair of family and community medicine and has served as a leader within our School of Medicine for several years. And La Doctora Teresa Vigil, who is now our new interim senior associate dean of education. With that, however, I also want to take a moment and have the following individuals be recognized and afford them an opportunity to share what this past year has meant to them as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm grateful and honored to introduce.
Doctor, you know how we are in our community is we have to jump in and interrupt. So my apologies. But we do have a wonderful leader who has joined our community, our comunidad. We want to welcome our leader, Dr. Doug Saidones, for a few words. Thank you, Doctor, for being with us. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. We are elated that you're here.
Well, I'm really honored to just be able to work with you, such a great, terrific team. This is such an important celebration, and I'm glad I can be a small part of it and just say a few words and thank you for all your leadership. I must share a little story. I met Mr. Edward Lujan on Friday, and he gave me my wife a tour of the National Hispanic Cultural Center, and he was full of so many wonderful stories and learning about all the diversity within the Hispanic community. And but I also have to say I've learned a ton from JP and Val and Gina and many others on this call. Teresa, thank you for your leadership. So there's so many of you, I don't want to single out too many more, but just thank you all. And it's so important, the richness that you all bring and are all working together. So, and I keep learning. So I'm grateful for that opportunity too. So I think I'm just going to stop, and it's one of those days I'm running between many different meetings, but I wanted to thank you, and I'll be in listening mode. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Zaidonis. Thank you for those wonderful words as well. And I see, you know, as we are here, seeing faces coming up, and here another one of our exceptional, strong DEI leaders and longstanding HSC supporters and exceptional dean in Dean Godwin, who I hope will share a few words with us too, and then we'll continue.
Thank you, Dr. Romero-Leggett. You caught me off guard. Yeah, again, you know, I'm just you know, thrilled to be able to join the you know, this Zoom for the opening event for Hispanic Heritage Month. So important to, you know, celebrate all the cultures at the Health Sciences Center and in New Mexico. And I'm just really looking forward to today's presentation, and also you know, the events over the next 30 days. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We also have some wonderful leaders. And Dr. Zaidonis, before you leave, I want to personally thank you for investing in our Hispanic leaders. You know, being a minority state, you know, we are just so grateful that you see so much talent in our Hispanic, Latino, Mexicano, Chicano leaders. So thank you so much for investing. And with that said, I want to recognize a dear friend and an amazing leader, Miss Gina Urais Sandoval, to say a few words.
Thank you, Comadre Gomez. So good to see you, Doctora, and everyone else on the call. I just want to say I'm super excited that this year this institution is taking a very unified approach in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. You know, I think collaborating, Jen and I talked last night about some collaborations during this month on Hispanic Heritage Month. And I think that's going to provide some rare opportunities for collaboration and centralization despite the challenges of the current pandemic. Here at UNM Health Sciences Center, we're just really excited about celebrating and honoring the Hispanic culture and embracing the future of that culture. I think it was Overby who said, the only way you will love your neighbors as we love ourselves is to get to know our neighbors, even in the midst of our differences. And the only way of truly knowing someone is by being with them and through conversation. So I say, let's bring the conversations forward. Let's own where we've fallen short when it comes to diversity work. Let's make things better. Let's create opportunities for the future to be brighter. Most importantly, this month, let's celebrate the Hispanic heritage, people who have made tremendous contributions, not just here at UNM, but in our communities and beyond. We do this and celebrate our Hispanic heritage and our Hispanic heritage leaders who have, you know, paved that road for us. But without forgetting to look to our right and look to our left at those who are just beside us, right? Coming alongside us, who are from different backgrounds and deserve the same recognition and respect. I want to congratulate Doctora Valerie Romero-Leggett and Doctora Jennifer Gomez Chavez, Dr. J.P. Sanchez, the other faculty and staff at the Office of Diversity here at UNM Health Sciences. You work tirelessly all year to do this. You make sure that we're aware of those unique values that make us different and that are so important in the work that we do every day. So thank you for inviting me to be here today. I'm super excited to see what you have lined up this month, and I will do my best to participate in as much as I can. And thank you for all the work you've put to put this together. Felicidades.
Mil gracias, amiga, and thank you for your leadership. It's, through you, our community wins. So thank you so much for being accessible and really leading with humility. So thank you. Thank you. I think it's really important that as we talk about esperanza and hope, we look across all of our institution. The University of New Mexico has always worked on celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month for many years. And I want to bring on the director of El Centro de la Raza, Rosa Isela Cervantes, who has been working for many years at UNM main campus, at El Centro, not just supporting students, but ensuring that, we recognize our culture, our history, and our heritage in all that we do. So Rosa serves as the special assistant to the president on Hispanic Latino affairs. Rosa.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to see all of you, some of you who I've known for years and others who I've only had a chance to maybe have coffee over Zoom, like JP. It's great to see each of you. I'm so excited to be with you all tonight to hear our panelists today, some of which I've known for years, like Dr. Alfonso Belmonte. It's amazing to see all of you here. And so I'm super excited to hear the words from our panelists. My role tonight is just to say, we come from a long line of strong, talented, beautiful people. Whether our families reside in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, across Latino America, across the United States, we come from a resilient community. And so it's super important that we continue to remember that and that we work with one another across the great divide of lomas, as people like to say, but really recognizing that we have so much to support one another in. And I'm super excited to see the amazing lineup that you all have going on at Health Sciences. I invite you to join us for some of the events happening on main campus as well, and that we continue. Some will be via Zoom, some in person, many student-led, and we're just excited to have that lineup. So we invite you all to check out the different opportunities that are going to take place. There's so much we can do, right? And so little time, but please take advantage and participate wherever you can. And more than anything, know that we're here and ready to serve. Please reach out if you have students that need support, if you yourself are looking to connect for different activities or programs. El Centro is always here to serve. And aquí su servidora Rosa, estamos para servirles. So thank you to each of you, and let's have a great month. But remember, every day for me is Hispanic month, right? It's Hispanic Day. We live it by the way that we live and breathe and teach and learn. So thank you all for being here, and I'm excited to see as we move forward. Gracias.
Perfect. Thank you, Rosa, for your commitment and always being such a wonderful partner. We appreciate you and all that you do for our students, our staff, our faculty, and the community. Mil gracias. I will now pass it on to Dr. Sanchez.
Thank you. So we want to continue with these reflections. As many of you know, HSC has 10 very important partners within our institution entities. And here today, we have representatives from many of them. So once again, we're grateful and honored to have the following individuals put forth by each of the entities and share their reflections. In the chat box, I've just put the order so our speakers are aware. And we're going to start off with doctoral candidate Zamora, and then Community Health Specialist Kilao, DEI Executive Officer Armillo, Dr. Nervi, Dr. Jessica Belmonte, Dr. Alfonso Belmonte, Dr. Valdez, and Executive Vice Dean Montoya. Doctoral candidate Zamora.
Hello, everybody. My name is Megan Zamora, and I am a fourth-year pharmacy student. Dr. Sanchez reached out to me and asked me to respond to a question: why are you excited to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month this year? My response is, I'm excited to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month this year because as a Hispanic American, I get the opportunity to commemorate and honor my culture as a fourth-year pharmacy student. National Hispanic Heritage Month observation began nearly 53 years ago, and it is a time where we can recognize the many contributions and powerful influence Hispanic Americans had and continue to have on the United States culture and history. My ancestors are descendants from Mexico, Portugal, and Spain. However, I was born in New Mexico, and Spanish was not my first language. Growing up on a farm, I remember my grandparents, especially my grandma Beatrice, stressed the importance of education in our own culture and how much it means to be able to speak in my native tongue. Determined to make my family proud, I began my college career working not only on a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, but a double major with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Spanish and a minor in chemistry. From my degree, I gained bilingual fluency that has and continues to empower me. Currently, I am working at Smith's Pharmacy in the South Valley, where my patients express their deep gratitude to me for speaking Spanish. The feeling that I get from helping my patients bridge the language barrier to assist with their medication is indescribable, and it makes all my hardship and struggles worthwhile. Today, I am nearly finished with my doctorate degree in pharmacy, and this year for Hispanic Heritage Month, I hope to inspire others of Latin American descent, especially women, that they can become anything that they choose, because I am living proof of that. Para toda mi familia, si me está escuchando, espero haberte hecho sentir muy orgulloso. Thank you.
Would you like me to go next, Dr. Sanchez?
Yes, please.
All right. So first, I wanted to say thank you to the UNM Health Sciences Center and my department, the Clinical Translational Science Center, for this opportunity to share. I'm excited to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month because for me, it is a time to reflect on what it feels like to be Hispana. My maiden name is Baca, and my family is from Chihuahua and Michoacan, Mexico. I am a first-generation U.S. citizen. For me, to be Hispana means it is the vibrant colors that can be seen in murals in our barrios. It is the lovely música you can hear. It is the warm abrazos or hugs from family members. It is the smell of fresh tortillas being made in my mom's kitchen. It's the taste of all the comida, all the yummy food that fills your soul. These are the things that I hope that I have esperanza to pass on to my 3-year-old son so that when he grows up, he can also take time to celebrate being Hispanic. In my line of work at the Health Sciences Center, I help to reduce health disparities through health research, and there's no denying my heritage and work cross paths as I serve the state of New Mexico. This month, I look forward to taking time to discover and being inspired by all the amazing Hispanic people working to make our world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Executive Diversity Officer, Armillo.
Thank you, Dr. Sanchez. Buenas tardes a todos, a todas, a todos. Yo soy Fabián Armijo, director ejecutivo de Diversidad, Equidad e Inclusión para los hospitales de Nuevo México. I've been the Executive Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for UNM Hospital for a year now, but I've been a member of the team for about 6 years. First job at the hospital was medical interpreter and translator. So I've worked mostly in the emergency department. That was one of my favorite jobs, and it's still one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. And, you know, I started working here because I wanted to become a clinician. I wanted to be a PA. But after a couple of years in the emergency department here at UNMH, I quickly learned that bedside wasn't the place for me. So I found another path here in the hospital. But, you know, the reason I want to celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month is to continue to provide equitable care to our community, and specifically those who speak Spanish and Spanish only. I want to share a couple of numbers with you all with the way the hospital has responded to COVID and what we do for patients on the daily. But before I get to that, I want to mention that, we had our first surge of COVID patients in the spring. And at that time, it was most of the Navajo community that was affected by COVID and occupying most of our intensive care unit beds here at the hospital. But the next wave and the next surge, where we saw Spanish speakers more than anybody. And the hospital quickly responded to make sure that when the visitation policy was strict to keep our community safe, we created another way for loved ones to get updates on people who are in the hospital. So we created a front-facing phone tree for the first time so that Spanish speakers, when they call in, they would get connected with an interpreter, and then that interpreter would get transferred from the operator to the floor. So that way, if the person picking up the phone on the unit didn't speak Spanish, the interpreter was already there for them. So one example of the way that the hospital was able to respond to better serve that community. A couple of other things. 49% of our workforce here at UNM Hospital self-identifies as Hispanic or Latino. So we're proud of that. We're the largest ethnic and racial category here at UNMH. 41% of our adult patients seen in our health system self-identified as Hispanic last year. And then some other things, just, since the beginning of the year in January, the Language Services Department has provided 150,000 Spanish interpretations. And that's in person, telephonic, or over video. And then we've also translated 532 documents into Spanish for our patients and providers. We have a team of 32 full-time professional medical interpreters, and 24 of those people are Spanish interpreters. And then we also have about 125 bilingual Spanish-English employees who take care and serve in that role of medical interpreter in addition to their primary role. So those are some of the reasons, some of the things that inspire me to serve our community, and some of the things that we should be proud of at UNM hospitals and as HSC, our health system, because we do all of this for that community. So thank you, everybody. Good to see you all. And thanks for having me, JP, and everybody else.
Thank you. Sorry, I think it's Dr. Nedving next. Thank you, Fabian.
Okay. I would like to say that when LBJ proclaimed Hispanic Heritage Week in 1968, he was evoking Independence Days marked by Mexico and Central American countries. 2 decades later, Congress extended into a month-long celebration. Somewhere along the way, October 12th, Columbus Day, became incorporated into Hispanic Heritage Month. This move has brought consternation to Latinx and indigenous peoples in the US and also in Latin America for 3 principal reasons. First, although this month was meant to commemorate Latin American independence, its countries and peoples are under-recognized. Second, we hear almost nothing about the rationale for the first imperial invasion and its horrific consequences in the Americas. And third, in Latin America, home to over 600 million people, indigenous peoples account for more than 10% of the population, and over 20% of Latin Americans have African roots. These peoples were forced to speak Spanish and subject to a brutal acculturation process. On another note, people of Hispanic origin lived in what are today the states of California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas for centuries. They did not immigrate to the US. The border moved during the expansionary war, resulting in the acquisition of Mexican territory. Puerto Rico was similarly acquired, and Puerto Ricans living in the island don't have the same rights than other Americans. So let's mark this month by recognizing our histories and the myriad of strength of our community. Let's address the pervasive inequities we face, and once and for all, honor our monumental struggles here and in Latin America. And let's include those allies from Spain who for generations have fought in the decolonial movement. Let's use these months to anticipate a horizon of equity and social justice for all. That's what I'm excited to celebrate today. Gracias.
Thank you, Laura. Dr. Jessica Belmonte, the first of the two siblings.
Thank you. Well, for me and everybody, I think the past 18 months of the COVID pandemic has been very difficult. And it's magnified healthcare disparities that we see day to day in our underrepresented communities. And it's also been particularly distressing as it has challenged our social norms. And as a Latina from a culture that values social intimacy, abrazos, besos, interactions with tios, tías, abuelitos, abuelitas, it's been pretty isolating at times. And I think I remember back to one particularly lonely month when my parents both came down with COVID and then my child's daycare closed. And that was just logistically a nightmare, very exhausting. And I was consistently reminded of how much my parents helped me and what a resource they are to me and how I rely on their loving support. And this made me realize that we are one another's greatest strength. We are one another's greatest resource. And so I'm delighted to participate in this year's Latinx Heritage Month because it's a forum to discuss issues that pertain to our communities, as well as celebrate our values, traditions, and accomplishments.
Thank you, Jessica. Dr. Alfonso Belmonte.
Hola, buenas tardes todos. I'll be brief. I prepared some comments. Just came off a service and the sun is down with the GI bug, so I'm pretty tired. So I wanted to have my words written out for me before I spoke. So, Advocacy and Celebration. Our gathering this month is both a call to action and a time to rejoice. A time to celebrate those before us who fought, who endured, and who paved the road for us. A call to rectify inequities, dismantle oppression, and seek justice. Denounce violence of land stolen, bodies brutalized, and voices silenced. We celebrate los recién llegados and those whose families have lived in these lands for generations. We encourage pursuits of languages reclaimed and recovered. We honor languages retained, protected, and respected. Our time together should nourish our souls, build our spirits, and prepare our hands for loving labor and service. This month, we weave a beautiful, multicultural, multilingual, multinational tapestry, and we weave it with threads of deep ebony, café con leche, ivory, and every shade in between. We are here for advocacy and celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfonso. Dr. Valdez.
So I'm Celia Valdez, and I work at Sandoval Regional Medical Center in family medicine. And I'm excited about this opportunity for Hispanic Heritage Month because we can explore the richness of our heritage. The peoples of Spain, we have Hispanics in Spain, South America, Mexico, Central America, of course, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and so many other countries. But our culture is known for its warmth and its welcoming nature and giving muchos abrazos, as someone was saying. I feel my family is one of my greatest riches and resources. You know, speaking of self-sacrificing moms, my mom came to live with us in Fort Worth when I was doing my internship. My daughter Juliana was born, and I don't think I could have finished without her help. And she lived with us for many years, and she did that with several of family members. And it's just what family does, especially Hispanic families. Families, they sacrifice for each other. Our culture is blessed with many gifted artists and authors, and we can enjoy things in Albuquerque like flamenco, because Albuquerque is the flamenco capital of North America. I don't know if people were aware of that, but it's wonderful. I'm looking forward to the topics scheduled during this month, including the Spanish Summit. And I look forward to a time in our future when our children and their children can claim their heritage with pride, with orgullo. And then we can see that bilingual skills are a gift. And hopefully it's something that can be acknowledged by the system. So thank you all for being here. And we move forward for Hispanics, and we move forward hopefully with orgullo, with pride. Thank you.
Thank you, Celia. Executive Vice Dean Montoya.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? I've had some computer trouble. Okay. The whole thing just crashed. So I'm glad to be back on. So I saw the question that said, I think it was what makes you excited about Hispanic Heritage Month? And so I think for me, and someone else spoke to this, what makes me most proud, I think, I am Native New Mexican. I grew up in Belen, just south here of Albuquerque, and my mother was a land grant through her family, Sanchez, lots of Sanchez's, of course. So who knows, John? We're probably related. Is the fact that neither my mother or father went to college, and they had 3 kids, and out of the 3, 2 of us went. And so I'm in that quote unquote first generation. And I know that everything from the time I was young, they were so motivated that we would go to college. That was huge for them. It was absolutely huge. It was also very important to them that English was our first language. I understand Spanish very well. I speak Spanish. I am not fluent, but I speak, enough to get by. However, they did not teach us Spanish, any of the 3 of us, because they were punished for speaking Spanish. And they did not want that for us. And I think about what they did and what I've heard in the parts so far is that we are at a different era now where we really appreciate the diversity in many ways, including language. And I imagine that to some degree that still happens in terms of trying to not have that other language, and yet that's such an asset for people. So I'm excited because to me, I think we have fulfilled what our parents wanted for us. And for me in the College of Nursing, in this position that I am in, it's very, there's not a lot of administrators at the College of Nursing that are of diverse beginnings. And so what's most important to me here is that I continue to advocate for the students of color, and particularly proud that we have about 40, sometimes 42% of our students are Hispanic, which matches the New Mexico population. And so we're the largest college on the HSC side, and we have over 1,000 students. And so 40% of that, and that's what we keep working to. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about that. Did I see bingo somewhere when I was filling out the smart sheet? Who's doing the bingo? I grew up, bingo was my life. I went with my aunt. My aunt was the best bingo player. She was my madrina, she was my godmother. I played a lot of bingo. So I gotta get in on the bingo one. Whoever thought of that? I grew up with bingo.
You'll have to join the Loteria night then, Dr. Montoya.
Well, thank you, everyone. Loteria is this Friday, 6 o'clock, and there will be food. So please join us on Friday. I just want to thank everyone for your inspirational words. You're not only inspirations to me, everyone across the state, but you're really national leaders. And by allowing us to tape you, we can now share this and inspire generations of Latinos across the country. So thank you for allowing this space and time. With that, and with what Dr. Romero-Liggett.
Yes, I'm sorry, Dr. Sanchez. We have a few other people here who I hope will share a few words with us as well. We have Senator Cedillo Lopez with us and our Vice President Mario Pacheco as well. If they're still with us, we'd very much appreciate hearing from them as well. I hope they're still where they can hear us.
Hi, Dr. Romero. This is Antoinette Cedillo Lopez. I'm actually in the car driving home from a Health and Human Services Committee hearing, and I just tuned in because I wanted to hear the inspirational words. The question is, why are we proud to have September be Hispanic Heritage Month? It's because of the need, at least for me, the need to instill our children and our grandchildren with the same pride that we have, the same honoring of our ancestors, and the same beautiful heritage we have in our state and throughout the world. So I've just been really moved listening to everyone, and I apologize. I really felt like I was just a fly on the wall in my car listening to these beautiful words. So congratulations to the organizers of this wonderful event. And thank you to all of the inspiring speakers. I'm so proud. Dr. Montoya is from Belen. I graduated from Belen High. So yay, Belen. And thank you for just recognizing me, and thank you for all of the work that you do for inclusion and diversity. You are truly a national leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, for your wonderful words and joining us while you're in the car and being part of this celebration, and one of our leaders for Hispana, and all of our many wonderful populations in New Mexico. So thank you for that. And I know we have as well Dr. Mario Pacheco here. Please, we'd love to hear from you as well, Mario.
Thank you, Val. I really appreciate it. I'm sitting here almost in tears at times, just hearing so many just wonderful, heartfelt comments. Longtime friends, Celia Valdez, and of course, Val and I go way back. And Dr. Montoya really touched my heart too. My parents very similarly. I'm number 10 out of 12 kids, and they spoke both Spanish and English, but they didn't want us to speak Spanish. We still did to some extent, but the value they placed on education, out of the 12 siblings, all 12 went to college. 2 became university presidents, 2 of us physicians. And after the 12th went off to college, my mom went to college and became a teacher. And her dean was her son at Highlands University. We have a lot of things to be very proud about. I have been a product of UNM through undergraduate medical school residency. And then I started working at a community health center, and I never left UNM. It's just a wonderful institution. We all feel this special bond. And it's so wonderful to see this commitment to recognizing the real talent that we all can see in our colleagues. And so I'm very proud of the success that many of you, I just love hearing Dr. Montoya, and of course, Dr. Romero-Liggett. You're all an inspiration, and Dr. Gomez-Chavez is just such a wonderful inspiration. And I see Dr. Sanchez just really taking this to a new level with his leadership. And so I just want to thank you all. And as the Associate Vice Chancellor for Community Health, for the Office of Community Health, Hispanic Health specifically, I will always continue my community representation of my alma mater, UNM. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pacheco. Mario, that was just wonderful. Appreciate that and your leadership here. I'd also like to ask Dr. Alicia Parada, who is our Vice President for the New Mexico Hispanic Medical Association, to please share a few words with us as well.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. This is very inspiring to me. You know, I grew up in New Mexico, mostly in southern New Mexico, and all my family is from here. And I did my medical education all the way through, and now I'm faculty. And just to look around and see so many mentors and colleagues and friends is just so inspiring, and the stories that we're hearing. This is a time to lift each other up and to continue to support each other, to band together so that we can continue to support our next generation of learners. And I'm so excited for all the energy and all the stories that we have tonight. So I look forward to seeing, listening to all the lectures and everything else that we're going to have this month. I've been honored to be a part of the planning, and excited to get that feedback so we can continue this on, and not just for 1 month, so we can have some continued stories and sharing and just learning from each other. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parada, and for reminding us that, yes, we have these amazing, exceptional heritage months throughout the year, but this work and everything about this is something that's 365 days a year. And I know we're getting near our time, and I'll have, Dr. Gomez Chavez and Dr. Sanchez say some closing remarks, but I just want to, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you and, the many who have been part of putting this together this year and last year. There are so many of you, I know we can't name them all, but they'll be on our website, all of you who have helped to acknowledge that. But also, again, to just really thank our co-chairs in Dr. Jennifer Gomez Chavez and Dr. JP Sanchez, and all of you for being here and just sharing those just beautiful, beautiful memories and the history and just those reflections. I'm just so happy that we're going to have this videotaped and there for everyone to be able to listen and to be able to feel what we have felt here tonight, and to celebrate that, to celebrate all of you and your heritage and all of our cultures and traditions here moving forward. So thank you again, and I'll turn it over to our amazing co-chairs. Oh, and I hope I did say on behalf of the HSC Office for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, because this is something we have talked about for a long time, and we're able to do something here or there, and bits and pieces. And last year and this year, the first time like this, all coming together again with this incredible leadership. And it's always right. It's a team effort. It's a familia, right? Like that's how we work. We all get in here and we all help each other and do things together. So thank you all for that, and just very pleased that we can do this, because it really is all of us together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Romero-Legate. I think we were going to, as many of you mentioned, you're excited about the calendar. We're going to invite up Jose Rodriguez, who has really been key to helping us build this platform to display all the heritage months and keeping us on track with this year's calendar. Jose, if you wouldn't mind sharing the celebrations page.
Hi, buenas tardes. It's so nice to hear from you all. It's especially nice to hear Spanish in this setting. I moved away from my family in California when I moved out here to New Mexico, and I grew up in a household where I could only speak to my grandmother in Spanish. She didn't speak English, so my Spanish is slowly seeping out of my ears as I spend more and more time here in New Mexico, but you guys are keeping me sharp, so I appreciate that. So today, I'm going to be really quickly just going over our website and how you can get involved moving forward with our events. Can everyone see my screen? Let's see. Good. So for those of you that haven't visited our site before, let's see, can you go ahead? I'm going to go ahead and paste this into the chat. This is our celebration site. Thank you, Dr. Merle Leggett. So when you go to our celebration site, actually this being Hispanic Heritage Month means we have officially celebrated an entire year of the various cultures and the various heritages that we have here at the Health Sciences Center. So this Hispanic Heritage Month marks a full year. So it's very exciting. When you visit our website, you'll be met with the various observances we have here at the Health Sciences Center. But of course, we're in the throes of the Hispanic Heritage Month. So you can navigate either directly through the link we provided you or by going to our website and clicking either this button or of course our large Hispanic Heritage Month button. And that will bring you to our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration page. So here, and I just took the time to update it so I know it's fully up to date now. We have all of the events that we are looking forward to so far for this month. So if I just do a really quick scroll, we see we have a lot of events slated for this month, and there's a lot of exciting things happening here at the Health Sciences Center. And I wanted to talk a little bit about registration. Normally, for some of the other months, for those of you that have participated before in other observances, we generally have registration links for every single session. We're doing that a little different this time around. We're trying to streamline things and make things easier on you as well. So we've introduced a one button registration page for all of the events, except for those that we explicitly don't have some kind of control over. So you might see how to apply for medical school does have a separate registration page, but for the majority of the others that don't have explicit registration buttons, if you are interested in participating in the events, you'll just want to click either the red button at the top of the page here or the teal button we see here in the top left-hand banner here. So if you click that button, it'll take you to our registration page. And here you can actually enter the information and you can select any number of activities you want to participate in. There we go. So you can select any one of these activities or all of them and indicate you are interested in participating. Now, one quick thing I want to make sure I let everyone know is that when you're coming to our page to register, we're going to try our best to keep adding value to this page and adding events. So you might actually go through the process of registering and then see a new event that you didn't register for and want to register. That's excellent. And we encourage you to go through the registration process again. One quick thing is once you have registered for an event, you don't have to indicate you're going to go to that event again when you're re-entering this registration form. So for those of you that registered for today's event and want to register for another, you can go ahead and use this drop down and indicate which ones you'd like to join us with, and you can omit selecting this one. And if it's a past event especially, no need to indicate you want to register for it, and that will make sure everything's flowing smoothly on our ends, and this will be how you all register with us and participate with us throughout the month. So does anybody have any questions or concerns about this registration process?
Jose, if you could just go through the events, just mention the title.
Sure. Let's go through some of the events. So these are the events. Obviously, we just had our introduction, but the loteria, that's going to be really excellent. I'm going to have to bring some dried beans because that is the only way I can play. But we also have some really excellent sessions like applying for medical school, a nice art event here that we see, traditional and allopathic healing. Look at some of this, some wonderful events in step with LMSA, which is very nice. And we even have some main campus events, which is very exciting. For those of you that are across Lomas. So very exciting. And I would encourage you all to visit the page every other day, or maybe a few times a week, just to keep current on what events are being introduced. We'll try our best to let you know as events come up, but definitely keep an eye on the events. And another thing that we're going to be doing throughout the month is if we miss an event, we're going to try our best. If you miss an event, we're going to try our best to put the recordings directly onto the page. So if you missed one of these sessions that you were really hoping to participate in, no worries. You can come back to the page, and a day or two after the event, we'll try our best to have that recording up so that you may review it and you may share it as well. So that's another important thing to let you know. All right. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by today. Reach out to us at the Office for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion if you have any questions about the month, or if you want to participate beyond registering for these events. So let us know. And thank you for stopping by, everyone. I'm going to hand it off to JP.
Thank you, Jose. I'm going to pass it to Dr. Gomez-Chavez to close us off. Dr. Gomez-Chavez.
Yes, well, thank you. What an amazing event. You know, we cannot do this alone. And I want to give a couple of shout outs. And I want to thank Maria Bustamante, who helped us think about this wonderful opening. So Maria, muchas gracias. We want to thank Teresa Madrid and of course, Jose Rodriguez, our wonderful leader, Dr. Vai Romero Leggett, again, our speakers, Rosa from El Centro de la Raza, who has, joined us in this beautiful effort. And each of you, especially the planning committee, many of them who are here, who are working hard. Sometimes we meet twice a week, to plan all of these wonderful workshops. So please join us, spread these wonderful sessions so that we can continue to highlight the contributions, talk about important topics, and, really highlight the work that we're doing and the impact that some of these areas are having in our own community. I do want to mention that we're going to be having Los Primeros, which is an event to highlight the first in certain positions, the first in certain programs. So if you have any nominations, that email will go out, or you can email me or Dr. Sanchez. But we want to highlight trailblazers who have been doing this work for many years, or maybe most recently. So with that said, we thank you from the bottom of our corazones. We wish you well, stay safe, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Well done. Bravo.